So ZANU-PF believes that the US government is trying to invade Zimbabwe, and they're trying to do this not directly but indirectly through Zambia, and they believe that the Triple C, which is led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, is playing a key role in this. Ruvimbo Matinyarere, who is a big fish of the ZANU-PF party and the current Zimbabwean government, wrote on her Twitter and said, "The Black Hawk helicopter is a highly advanced Lockheed Martin helicopter that has been sold to only 34 countries. Those countries are all wealthy first world nations that are allies to the US with the technical capacity and resources to operate and maintain these machines. Zambia is a highly indebted poor country, HIPC." So in other words, she's saying Zambia is poor to afford or to maintain those helicopters. Lacks the capacity to operate or maintain Black Hawks valued at 15 million to 25 million each, strongly suggesting that the helicopters are being delivered to Zambia are actually a US AFRICOM deployment of its base own military assets to its base in Zambia with the intention of invading Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean government made a significant error by allowing an opposition party that calls for sanctions from external government to continue participating in elections. I think we all know that she's talking about the Triple C, the Citizens Coalition for Change. This opened the door for that opposition to tarnish Zimbabwe's reputation in South African and Western media, paving the way for Western military interventions. Under the guise of the West intervening to save desperate poor Zimbabweans from the proverbial, in quotes, evil ZANU-PF government that stole elections where the opposition actually lost fairly. By failing to adequately educate Africans and Zimbabweans about the challenges and threats faced by Zimbabwe in its decolonization efforts, the Zimbabwean government may have inadvertently played right into the hands of the enemy by creating conducive conditions for a Western invasion. The US government is now positioning its assets in Zambia in a manner that suggests preparation for such an intervention. This invasion will likely be triggered by upcoming violent opposition protests, which will be portrayed as demonstrations against a stolen election, stolen by the manufactured, in quotes, evil ZANU-PF government. I reiterate once again to this government of Zimbabwe, it's high time you shut down the sleeper US terrorist cells of CCC, that is the Citizens Coalition for Change, led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, by calling for a UN tribunal on the crimes against humanity of sanctions. Act now or die. This is what Rutendo Matinyarare had to say on her Twitter, and this triggered a lot of responses, a lot of emotions on social media. And one of the key responses that I noted was from ZimI, and they said the Western invasion happened already in the 60s when a British trained missionary, ED, was sponsored by Ian Smith under his British trainer Dan Stannard to invade Zandla and claim he bombed a train, when both the court record and his own biography reveals the opposite. How do you ignore this fact? Ladies and gentlemen, let us leave this for you to comment in the comment section. What do you think about this whole issue? ZANU-PF now suspects that the Triple C is working hands in hands with Zambia to help the US government invade Zimbabwe. What do you think in the comment section? Thank you so much for tuning in to this channel. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment the videos that we're going to be dropping each and every day on this channel.